Today on Rappler. Opposition lawmakers clap back at Vice President Sara Duterte, who brand critics of her office's confidential funds, quote, enemies of peace. Rice inflation in September hits its highest point in 14 years. The LTO releases a new schedule for the renewal of expired driver's licenses. Groups call for the release of drag queen Pura Luka Vega. Philippine cycling veteran Ariana Evangelista tests positive for a banned substance. Meggie Ochoa earns her first ever Asian Games gold medal in women's 48-kilogram jiu-jitsu. And Justin Brownlee steers Gilas Pilipinas to the Asian Games final for the first time in 33 years. Opposition lawmakers clap back at Vice President Sara Duterte, who brand critics of her office's confidential funds, quote, enemies of peace. In a speech Wednesday, October 4, Duterte defends her confidential funds. She says confidential funds allow her office to address unforeseen challenges such as terrorism and organized crime. ACT Teachers Representative Frances Castro says Duterte is gaslighting the public for insinuating that it is wrong to question how her confidential funds were spent. Albay 1st District Representative and Liberal Party President Edsel Lagman says, quote, the Secretary of Education must be a teacher, not a centurion. Duterte's October 4 speech still failed to answer key questions on the 125 million peso confidential fund that the OVP exhausted in only 11 days in December 2022. Rice inflation in September hit 17.9%, its highest point in 14 years, even as President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. set a nationwide price cap of 41 pesos to 45 pesos per kilo for rice. Last August, rice inflation was measured at just 8.7%. Rice inflation hit its highest in March 2009 at 22.9%, and it hasn't reached that point since. But national statistician Dennis Mapa notes the price caps led to mixed results, saying not all rice retailers followed the price cap. The Philippine Statistics Authority finds that the national average prices for 1 kilogram of rice were higher than the price caps. But Mapa says more research would be needed to determine how bad rice inflation could have been if no ceiling was introduced. The Land Transportation Office releases a new schedule for the renewal of expired driver's licenses. Those with driver's licenses expired from April 1 to September 30, 2023 may now get the printed version of their driver's license based on the following schedule. LTO says the schedule is being implemented to avoid overcrowding in the agency's offices. Meanwhile, those with a paper license may claim their plastic card license by returning to their licensing office and presenting the receipt of their payment. Motorists who fail to renew within the prescribed schedule will have their licenses rendered as expired. This comes after LTO head Vigor Mendoza II said the agency has secured enough plastic cards to address the backlog of driver's licenses. Drag artists and several groups call for the release of former Drag Den Philippines contestant Pura Luka Vega, who was arrested on Wednesday, October 4 for allegedly skipping the preliminary investigation of a criminal case in Manila. The arrest comes in the aftermath of a controversial Ama Namin performance which went viral in July. The hashtag Free Pura Luka Vega quickly became the top Philippine trending topic on X after news of Pura's arrest broke. Drag Den's reigning queen Naiya is among the first to visit Pura at the police station, with other artists such as super starlet XXX and Worship the Gays. Other Drag Den contestants, along with show host Manila Luzon, showed their solidarity for Pura Luka Vega. Drag Race Philippines contestants also lent support. A donation fund set up to cover Pura's bail, which amounts to 72,000 pesos, has gathered 421,000 pesos as of Thursday, 12 p.m. Philippine cycling veteran Ariana Evangelista tests positive for a banned substance and has been provisionally suspended with immediate effect in the Asian Games. Evangelista failed a drug test for the prohibited substance erythropoietin, a performance-enhancing drug. The International Testing Agency says 2 samples of blood and urine were collected during an out-of-competition anti-doping control in the Asian Games on September 24 in Hangzhou, China. Evangelista competed the next day in the Women's Cross-Country Olympic mountain bike competition, where she finished 13th. Integrated Cycling Federation of the Philippines calls the incident unfortunate as it involved one of its finest riders in mountain biking. Phil Cycling adds it will always be in support of its athletes and promote with vigor fair play in its sport, while condemning the use of illegal substances. Meggie Ochoa earns her first ever Asian Games gold medal after ruling the women's 48-kilogram jiu-jitsu event in China on Thursday, October 5. The 2018 Asian Games bronze medalist breaks through a new milestone in her career after a masterful run in the one-day tournament, culminating in a gold medal win via advantage over Balkis Abdullah of the United Arab Emirates. Meggie is the first Filipina to cop gold in the Games' 19th edition and the second after world number 2 pole vaulter EJ Obiena. Following Meggie's win, the Philippines now has a chance to tie or even surpass its 4-gold haul in 2018, as the likes of Yumir Marshall and the Gilas Pilipinas men's basketball team are also fighting for gold in their respective sports. It must be fate, as Justin Brownlee steers Gilas Pilipinas to the Asian Games final for the first time since 1990, in an exhilarating 77-76 comeback victory over host China on Wednesday, October 4. Brownlee whips up a magical performance, scoring 33 points to end a 33-year wait for the Philippines. The Barangay Ginebra import brings in 17 fourth-quarter points, which saw the Philippines fight back from a 20-point deficit against defending champion China in its own turf. Head coach Tim Cohn admits to accepting defeat as China held the upper hand for almost the entire game before Brownlee came to the rescue. The Philippines is set to face Jordan again, this time for the gold medal on Friday, October 6. Jordan dealt Gilas Pilipinas its only loss in the group stage. And that's today's wrap. I'm Nino Yu. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.